As you're watching this video, my business is currently going through life support. As some of you may already know, the government recently opened back up. However, in the midst of that, they added a really sneaky law that's going to eliminate my business completely. The law I'm talking about is HR 5371, which is going to essentially make all the hemp products in the market right now illegal. It's going to wipe out legit like 95% of the market. So what does this mean besides what it's going to do to me? It's going to essentially completely ruin an industry that's been growing in the past 5 years. So everybody who's been employed under this, everybody who started a business under this law is going to be wiped out. This is hundreds of thousands of jobs that are going to be taken away in a $28 billion industry that's just going to disappear. I feel like ultimately in my life specifically, the craziest part to this is that this is my main source of income. It's not YouTube, it's not sponsorships, it's nothing else. This is my main source of income. It's been my baby. It's been all I focused on for almost the last 2 years, and to just have it disappear and wiped away, it's just sad. Not even just like a money thing at this point. Like, yeah, it sucks because that's like my family's main source of income. You know, my girl's a stay-at-home mom. We all solely rely on this source of income. But it's more like it sucks to build something and just from one day to another watch it disappear. With that being said, part of the law did state that there would be 365 days before it takes effect. As of today, there's only 363 days left. So within the next year, we're either going to overturn this law and hopefully win the right to continue being in business, or we're just going to be completely wiped out. And the saddest part about this is that we're fighting against huge corporations like Big Alcohol, which just is coming for our neck. I mean, they're here to destroy us, get rid of us, and monopolize the industry themselves. The craziest part to this entire thing is that in just under 2 years, I was able to grow this company into a multi-7-figure business. Generally, when you grow a company to such a large scale, your entire lifestyle also scales with the business, right? And part of the concern right now is that if this business disappears in a year, I don't see it being realistic to want to stay in a $4,000 a month apartment or to even have my G80, which I've only had for like 7 months. But already as a businessman and as a main provider in my family, I'm already thinking like, what's the first things we're going to get rid of? For sure, the G80 and then this apartment, because we don't need any of this. This all kind of comes with a certain lifestyle and a certain price tag of business doing really well. And this is also a big learning lesson for all my entrepreneurs out there. It is not hard to get to the top. It's hard to stay there. That's the biggest trick to anything in life. You can always get the promotion, but for you to be able to maintain it and grow from there, that's the most difficult part of life. Now, I see a lot of people in my space right now, and they are tripping. They're definitely going through the stages of grief. I feel like they're in denial. They're here to want to fight it for the next 363 days. For me, deep down inside, I want to make the most of it. Ultimately, all that means for me is that I want to grind harder than I've ever grinded before in my life. And I also want to double down on my love for YouTube, because what I'm doing right now is ultimately what I wanted to do 10 years ago. Everything else that I've jumped into, it's just kind of happened on its own. I always felt like life had a plan for me before I ever had a plan for myself, you know? And even the business I'm talking to you about in this video, it kind of just it fell on my laps. Like, it just came to me. I didn't go out looking for it. It was an opportunity that I was offered. I took the opportunity, and thanks to that, I got to experience a whole nother level of lifestyle that I probably never would have. I think the biggest life lesson I'm learning from all of this is that it's always great to save your money. I feel like even though I've splurged and I've given myself things that I've always wanted to, I've also been pretty smart with my money overall. I feel like I'm in a position where even if this does disappear in a year, I'm not in a rush to have to jump into the next thing. I'm still continuing with my passion of doing YouTube because this is ultimately what I love to do. I've been doing this for so many years on and off because, as you know, I got kids, I got responsibilities, and I got things that I need to do to get money. But YouTube is genuinely a passion for me, and to be able to get paid to do this is just honestly insane. Currently, this channel is only paying me a couple $100 a month, so definitely not making a living off this channel quite yet, but I'm a firm believer that you could do anything you set your mind to, and I did start a series on how to get to 10K a month on YouTube, so now we're gonna double, triple, quadruple down on it and show you guys that anything's possible. Because honestly, even moving here where I live right now, at some point felt so out of reach The G80 felt so out of reach, and accomplishing those things, even though the business is being destroyed right in front of my eyes, there's beauty in it. There's beauty in it because I know that anything is possible. I've honestly already gone through the mental cycles of like, well, what's next? What do I want to do next in life? And while I have money to jump into a whole nother business and I can just start something new, I'm a firm believer in trying to do what you love, even if it's not paying you substantial amounts of money. Because look, I'm in pajamas and Crocs. I dropped my daughter off to school today. I'm gonna pick my daughter up from school today. I took my daughter to jiu-jitsu all week. I'm gonna be at her parent-teacher conference, and I'm able to do these things all because I do what I love and I have full control of my schedule. So for me to just jump into a business strictly to make money, it just doesn't sit right with me, because ultimately, even though it is about the money, because you need to pay bills, and I, especially in my position, I need to take care of myself and 3 other humans, my girl, my 2 kids, I still will not give up on doing what I love. I won't. And I know that I will find a way to make it work out, because through God and through believing that things are gonna work out, they always work out. I can genuinely say, even though I've obtained a certain level of comfort through material things, whether it's my apartment or the car I always wanted, I'm not attached to these things. None of these things genuinely make a huge difference in my life. Like, at the end of the day, if I had to change cars, if I had to move to a smaller place, if I don't care. I'm in this for the love of the game, baby. I've been in this before I ever made a single dollar. I've been in this before I ever got paid to do it. I was doing it for free every single day. So to me, in my head, it's like, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Like, if anything, I'm hyped. Like, let's do it, Moments like now are prime examples of how things always happen in life. And when you're a creator that puts out content for people to enjoy, you can't stop creating just because life isn't perfect. That's the biggest mistake I see people do. Life isn't perfect and they stop posting. I've done this. I'm speaking to the crowd because I've done this myself so many times. But really, even when things get hard, this is when you really gotta come up swinging, bro. Like, you gotta stand up and fight harder for your dreams than you ever have, because life isn't perfect. Life will never be perfect. And if you think a certain number or a certain amount of money is gonna fix all your problems, oh, buddy. When you obtain that money, you're gonna see that it's far from the truth. I'm gonna tell you from personal experience, one of the biggest misconceptions in business, and that's that you should have 6 sources of income. Because I can already see the comment section right now like, well, that's why you shouldn't be relying on one source of income. From one of the wealthiest people I know, this is coming from my business partner. At some point when the business was growing and I felt like I had extra income, I remember asking him like, hey man, what should I invest into? Like, what else should I invest into? He said, Louis, invest back into your business. He said, be really good at one thing before you worry about going and doing 5 other things. And that really resonated with me, because I realized that it's completely true. I think it's completely BS that you need to have 5 sources of income. Leave that to a extremely skilled entrepreneur that's already built a successful business, built 2 successful businesses. Then they go on to just keep going because it's just a skill that they obtain. It's a complete skill, is what I'm trying to say, to run one successful business. So you can't think that you're gonna just have magically 5 sources of income. It's just not really how it works. You really gotta like stay down for the come up, focus on one thing, and work your butt off until you achieve what you're after. But I'm gonna tell you what's next for me, and that's this. What I'm doing right now. I'm gonna do this with more passion than I've ever had before. And it's not just because my business is disappearing and I'm just trying to make a quick buck. Like, I've always wanted to do this. But I convinced myself that because my business was growing and that was my main source of income, that's all I would focus on. And, YouTube was just a hobby. But I'm ready to just put my foot on the pedal. So I've just been binge watching Mr. Beast's YouTube advice. I've been binge watching every bit of content I can from any large creator that has a bit of knowledge that I can pick at. I've just been listening to it all day. I've been putting it into my subconscious mind like, if they did it, I can do it. And it's fair to say you're experiencing something happening in real time. You're experiencing a real life event just unfolding in real time right now. That's pretty crazy. This neighborhood I'm currently walking through is quite literally down the street from where I currently live, but these are the houses in the area. This is what I strive for. This is like, I don't want to sound like I'm just super materialistic. Growing up with little to no money, I always wanted some. So I really do strive to one day be able to afford to own a house like one of these beautiful houses out here. It's always nice to come out, walk, and just manifest it, especially that one. That one is so sick. Look at this, like, this is insane. It makes me want to just knock on these people's doors and be like, what do you do for a living? Tell me the sauce. It's funny though, like, I think as an entrepreneur, when you're first starting up, all you kind of want to do is copy somebody's strategy. Like, well, I know this guy does solar and he makes this much. I know this guy does construction and he makes this much. I know this guy's an electrician and he makes this much. None of it really matters. It doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Because I think in any field, there's the people that make a lot of money, and then there's construction workers, solar people, electricians, plumbers that aren't making that much money. So it doesn't really matter ultimately what you do. It's a matter of like the mindset you have, I feel, to grow what you do, to love what you do, to do it different, to do it better, to do whatever it is. Like, and you can make money in anything. There's not a one-way recipe to cook, you can cook 50 different good meals. It's not just one meal that's the secret. So there's really it doesn't matter what any of these people do. It might be selling feet pictures and they're just really good at selling feet pictures. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that all I can control is my own thoughts. I can't control the things that are happening to me. Like, I can't control the fact that the government wants to shut down the business I operate. I can't control that. Like, that's out of my control. We can fight for it. We can go to court, we can do all these other things, but ultimately, it's completely out of my control. All I can do is control my thoughts and how I react and respond to things. I feel like the type of business I'm in now, it kind of feels like I'm in crypto or something. Like, it's so volatile, one day you're up here, one day you're down here, and you just got to accept it. You just got to go with the waves. But I think in general, that's just owning a business in a nutshell. In a nutshell, when you own a business, you're going to have really good years. You might have years that, aren't the best, and you might have a lot of this before it goes like this. Look at these houses. Now, I know that in a lot of other states, these houses are probably not that crazy. Like in other states, you guys are like, oh, it's like a middle-class neighborhood for us or something. In California, none of these houses are under $1 million. None of these. Like, this is definitely a very wealthy neighborhood. All these people, I'm certain, either run a business or it's a couple, like a husband or wife, whatever, couple, two people working together. They have really, really good jobs for them to be able to afford to live here. Because I can't imagine what the mortgage for one of these houses are with the way interest rates are right now. Like, one day though, we're gonna do it. And when we do it, I'm gonna be like, I told you, chat. I told you we're gonna do it. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video, is that it doesn't matter how many times you fall. Get back up. It doesn't matter if you fall. It's all about how you bounce back. Ultimately, like, control what you can, and what you can't, just surrender to it. That's exactly what I'm doing. This video wasn't made to complain or cry like, oh my God, life's over. Like, it is what it is, buddy. It is what it is. If we gotta move back to the hood, we're gonna move back to the hood, Real question is, should I get rid of my G80? Let me know down below in the comment section. I mean, what makes the most sense right now? I'm thinking like a Tesla makes more sense. Like a used Tesla, $25,000 Tesla. Never think about it again. Whatever happens to it, happens to it type of situation. That's how I'm feeling right now. But let me know down below in the comment section. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe in a couple months, all this just fixes itself out. And I mean, this is a $28 billion industry that they want to wipe out. I can't imagine that this is going to just go out without a fight. And even though I know that alcohol companies and these corporate companies are extremely big and a lot bigger than us, I know we're not going to go out without fighting, baby. This was literal words written from my business partner. This is exactly what he said. It's not over until the fat lady sings. We have 365 days. We're going to get this overthrown before. Full steam ahead. We are at war. Fight for the planet. F all the big corporate interests trying to ban this. We're gonna win. Trust. When a multi-millionaire tells you something like that, your arms too up a little bit. I think it's very humbling and insane that no matter how big you are, no matter how many millions of dollars your company makes, it cannot just be taken away from you. and I am not the first entrepreneur going through this, and I'm not the only one going through my exact same situation. As I already mentioned, hundreds of thousands of people are gonna lose their job because of this. It's not just the business owners that are being affected. I mean, there's a lot of people that rely on this to pay their bills, and it's not the first time in history something like this has happened. So we're just going through with it, figuring out what to do next, and ultimately fighting for what we believe is right. Because isn't that what life is? Isn't that what America is? America is your opinion versus mine. That's it in a nutshell, you know? You think something's right, I think something's right, we debate about it. That's just what America is. So at the end of the day, God bless America. I'm very grateful for the opportunities that this business has given me, the doors that this business has opened, and most importantly, I'm very grateful that thanks to each single one of you that has supported the business, I've been able to feed my family and take care of my kids and spend a lot of time with my kids. I love you. I love everybody who's supported. I love you watching this video right now. And if you've made it to this far into the video, let me know in the comment section because I want to personally thank you. Till next time, y'all, I'm out.